Hey guys, good morning. Uh, Happy Friday. I just wanted to tell you that I am extremely proud of all of you, whether you have reached out to me when I've called you on Google Classroom and also on Remind App. Thank you for doing that. Uh, I what I'm most proud of is the fact that some of you have gotten out of your comfort zone and you've reached out to me and you've asked for help or you have asked for clarification with maybe some things that I haven't been very clear with. And in my opinion, and I know that if I've talked a lot about it in class, that it is just so important for us to be effective communicators and to make our needs known, because when we do not make our needs known, as we've talked about it in class, we are not mind readers. We don't know what other people need. No one knows what you need unless you specifically ask for it, and that is so important. And so kudos go out to each and every one of you that has reached out to me in some way or another. Also, a special thanks goes out to your parents, because I know that some of them are juggling work life and home life, and then having to come home and also work with you all on your assignments, especially now that you're doing everything from home. So, thank you, parents, for being so patient. Thank you, parents, for letting your children borrow your phone so that I can speak to them. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me that you trust me enough to talk to your kids as we're learning together. Literally, we are learning together. The first thing that I want to do is go over this agenda, and I just want to start by saying that please make sure that you have completed your 2 quick writes that were assigned to you this week, and also the pages on the link for the ELA packet. And on that one, we were supposed to have done pages 311 to, I believe, 316, if I am not mistaken. Now, if your parents went ahead and they picked up the packet at school, you can be writing your answers on there. Now, if they were not able to, it's okay. You just take out a clean sheet of paper. I don't expect for you to write the answer, like the words. You can just read number one, whatever the question is asking you, and then just put number one and then just write the answer. If it's a multiple choice answer, just put number one, letter C. If it's asking you to write something, like I know there was a question that asked about making connections, just put number one and then write your answer, whatever you believe making connections is about. If you still need help with that, please don't hesitate to call me, students. Again, my number is 956-572-6475. It can also be found on my school website. Just make sure that it's between the hours of 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. That is a time when I'm taking calls. The rest of the time, what I'm doing, students, is I'm getting ready. I'm working on lesson plans. I'm working on, now I'm going to be grading the Flipgrid, so I have to do that as well. I'm having meetings with my administrators. So after 2 o'clock, I'm working on the behind the scenes work that I have to do. Okay, that's also part of my job. So for today, which is Friday, we only have one assignment, and that assignment is going to be to present our Flipgrid videos, guys. And what we're going to be presenting is the brainstorming part. I had sent you, or I had posted some questions that I expected for everyone to answer. On the agenda below, I do have the link to Flipgrid, so all you have to do is click on it. And then I also have the codes for you. I have the codes for first period, for fifth period, and for seventh period. Now, remember that when you click on Flipgrid, you you move down on the screen, and you look to where you put in the code. You put in the code, and then when you sign in, please make sure that you're signing with Microsoft, which is your BISD. It's your ID number at STU .bisd.us. And I've also written down these instructions. Even though I'm talking to you about them, I've written them down on the agenda. Okay, and then of course, if you have any questions, again, please do not hesitate to call me. I know some of you text me. I prefer for us to talk on the phone. That way we don't have to be messaging back and forth. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to present my brainstorming part for my unique God, goddess, hero, or monster. And as you can tell, up to right now, I think I've talked for about 5 minutes. As you can see, I'm looking at the screen and then I'm looking down. And that's very okay, students. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm doing it too. I'm having to look at my notes because I'm not memorizing all of this stuff. I am learning it because I do take down notes and I study them, but I still need to go ahead and be looking at them. And that is more than okay. That's not a problem. Okay. So I'm going to follow the questions the way that I wrote them, and that's the way I'm going to answer them. Okay, so the first one was, what kind of research did I do for my unique God, goddess, hero, or monster? Please remember that for our honors classes, we had to create, we had to invent, we had to come up with our own God, goddess, hero, or monster. So what I did is I went into Google. That's what I did. I really didn't research any other gods or goddesses. There's one word that I feel really resonates with me. And not only with me, I think that after this school year, that it's going to resonate with every single one of you guys and girls. And the word is resilient, or resiliency, to be resilient. So I decided that I wanted to choose or to make a hero, not a god, not a goddess, and not a monster, but it is a female hero. And I decided to call her, and I hope I pronounced this correctly, I might not, and it's okay, Resilientica. That is her name. And what does she represent? Well, first I want to tell you all I want to give you the definition of what it means to be resilient. To be resilient means, or what it is, it's the capacity to recover from difficulties and challenges that life throw at us. So as I was thinking, okay, what am I going to do? Or what kind of god or goddess am I going to create? At first, honestly, I wanted to create the goddess of desserts, or more specifically, I wanted to create the goddess of chocolate, because I just love chocolate. I cannot get enough of it, specifically brownies. So that was when we were in the classroom and I was talking about it, I was like, okay, I already know what goddess I want. After this week that we have been e-learning and that we have been quarantined, that we have been staying at home, I was like, no, it's okay. I don't need chocolate. I think all of us, I know I can really, really resonate with the word resilient. So what resilient means, it's the capacity to recover from difficulties and challenges that life throws at us. So I've been through a lot of things in my life. I think all of us have. I've specifically talked to you all about the fact that I failed 7th grade. And I've told you all that that's why 7th grade is so dear to my heart. And that's why I really feel a connection with a lot of you, because I know that I'm not in your shoes, but I do know what it is to be a 7th grader. For those of you that have been bullied, I do know what it is to be bullied. And I do know what it is to feel that no one cares or that there is no hope, especially when I failed 7th grade. So I think being able to overcome that to keep on going, to graduate, to go to high school, to go to college. And even though it did take me a long time to get my bachelor's, I did. And then to go back and get my master's degree, I feel that that right there just proves what a resilient human being I am. And I know that all of you are just as resilient as I am. So that is why I chose resiliency, or the word resilient. Now, what does resilient represent? What it represents is inner strength, and specifically emotional strength. Those times, I know that all of us have been there when we feel like giving up. I don't want to do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Why do I have to do this? Especially right now, I know that we're not very structured. Some of us, maybe we are staying up all night and then we kind of want to sleep all day. But you force yourself. You force yourself to wake up. You discipline yourself. You find that motivation within you to continue and to say, I have to do this. I want to do this because it's the right thing to do and because I love myself. Now, what symbol does Resilientica represent? So I got to choose my own symbol. So in that, I did do a little bit of research. I did put in the word resilient in Google, and then I clicked on images, and a lot of images came out, a lot of different ways and different fonts and different colors for the word resilient. But one of the images that really stood out for me, students, was a flower. And this flower is growing, blooming. She's beautiful. She's vibrant. She has vibrant colors. She's strong. And believe it or not, she is growing in the middle of a cracked sidewalk. She is not even surrounded by fertilized soil. She's not surrounded by grass. She is surrounded by concrete. And she is growing there. And that, to me, right there, perfectly symbolizes being resilient. Now, where does she come from? I chose to say that she came from the Romans. Does she have any enemies? Does Resilientica have any enemies? And I thought about that one, and then I said, you know what? She does. She does have a couple of enemies. And those enemies are fear, being afraid, and then her biggest enemy is shame. And I think some of us can relate to having fear, and I think definitely a lot of us can relate to having shame. So those are her greatest enemies. Now, what was the most challenging part of my brainstorming? For me, like I said, coming up with a god or goddess, that was easy. It was the symbol. I wanted to find the perfect symbol that represents her, which is Resilientica. And then anything that I would like to add is that I wholeheartedly believe in each and every one of you. And I think that with everything that we're going through right now, that each and every one of us is extremely resilient. Okay? I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Again, if you please, you can leave any comments. If you have any suggestions for me, maybe I'm too close to the screen, maybe I'm too far, maybe I'm too loud. I don't know, but I am open to constructive criticism so that I can have better videos for you guys. Okay? Hope to hear from you soon.